Shut up and sit down.
Today on Critical Mass, Mike Pence asks a gay dude with our guest Jason. Enjoy the show.
And that's when I said, Father, 2 fingers, try 3.
Oh my god.
No, he was a priest.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't want you to get the wrong idea.
Oh,
okay.
Of course.
Clarification.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, we've began our 3rd episode of Critical Mass. Welcome.
They say 3rd time's the charm.
They do. We might actually get something right this time.
I doubt it.
Well. Okay, so we got a special guest here today, Rockness.
Who's that?
We
Dan?
have my biological brother.
As
Jason.
opposed to what?
I don't know if it's not biological. I guess it's like a friend brother, like
Friend brother.
like bro,
Bro.
like you know how like some people are like, this is my brother, even though they're not really brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
They usually have to like each other though to say that.
Technically, I showed up to the hospital after my brother here was born.
Ah.
But they could have made a mistake.
They could have switched
But-
It happens all the time.
But if you look at photographs of
Yeah.
when I was at his age,
Okay.
same thing.
Wow.
Very similar.
That's.
So he's 27 now. He just had his 27th birthday.
Oh, happy
If you look at
birthday.
photos of me, although I guess in the mid-20s is really when I started to let myself go.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't,
Okay.
twins.
Yeah, I mean, he really looks like a more fit version of you.
Right.
Like someone that actually tries.
Educated.
Except he's a
well-rounded,
dumb fuck. I'm just kidding.
Well, maybe we can introduce. So you're Dan's brother. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Whatever you want to tell us.
Social security number, blood type, address, phone number, email. Go.
Yeah. I've been on this planet for 27 years.
Yes.
First time doing a podcast, that's for sure.
Yay.
Yay.
Ooh, add in some effects there of like balloons and fireworks. No, not with your mouth. I meant later in the editing process, you dumb
Not
shit.
doing anything with my mouth when you being involved again.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm just here doing this for the first time. I'm excited to see what this is all about.
Well, we brought Jason on because
For a reason.
we thought, hey, we've been talking about a lot of gay stuff,
Gay stuff.
and we've been talking a lot about Trump stuff.
And hate and people that hate people for no reason.
Yeah, and
For
we just
no
thought
reason.
that
I don't
Jason
know
could
why
give
I'm here for
perspective on not only what it's like to be in a struggling lower middle class tax bracket, if not lower class, depending.
Upper lower class.
Upper lower class.
Upper lower class.
But also to be gay in Trump's America.
Who told you I was gay?
You did.
I mean, we just inferred. You're a snappy dresser.
Okay.
You're a good-looking guy. You smell nice.
That
And
hurts.
I immediately said gay.
Yeah. We've eaten dinner with your boyfriend.
That'll do it.
True.
That was a giveaway.
So I guess we're just going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. I have some questions. I'm sure Dan has some questions. Jason, any topic you want to specifically discuss, a story, really anything, whatever. So I guess I'll start with my question. There's a lot of stuff around like right now. You've got things that are recent. You've got the Orlando freaking massacre by that crazy person at a gay club.
False.
You've got...
Didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No, when was that?
A long time, a few months ago? Not a long time ago. You didn't hear about that.
Oh, you mean in Bowling Green?
Oh, yes.
That massacre, no. Wrong massacre.
You idiot.
I don't know.
We're sticking to facts here today.
Not alternative facts. We discussed this.
I don't know the difference.
But, okay, so to continue my question, so we've got that. You've got Trump as president, which has told us it's okay to hate pretty much anyone that's different by him being president. It's perfectly acceptable. So I guess what is it like for you? Have you run into anything? Have you run into any ignorance, any idiots, anything at all?
I personally have not run into anything. I know a good amount of my friends who have experienced some things.
Do you have a story?
Yeah, one of my friends was going to Dunkin' like she does every single morning, and she is transgender.
Okay, so
and
I'm sorry,
lesbian as well.
Just to kind of so she's transgender, meaning she is now addressed as he.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that. Okay,
Yes.
so he got it. Continue, please.
And probably gonna offend her by saying this stuff because I'm not good at this transgender stuff.
It's okay. This is a
Still, he still identifies as a lesbian. And let's just say it's blatantly obvious.
Fair enough.
She walks in the room and
Right.
Somebody came through behind her in line and kept asking her to leave. A bunch of 3 big burly men were asking her to leave, saying, "What are you doing in here?"
Was one of their names Daryl, and did they drive a pickup truck?
They did drive pickup trucks.
Wow.
They were actually pickup trucks. They worked for the city of Rochester.
City employees.
City employees. One of them told her to go get your coffee down on Park Ave, where you belong.
But I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Where was this? It was at a Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, Dunkin' up in Irondequoit.
In the nice part of Irondequoit?
I don't know what part
Is there
that
a
is.
nice part?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Culver and Norton.
Culver and Norton.
Yeah.
So not
so.
great, but not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. But
Okay.
telling her to go down to Park Ave, and she noticed that a lot of the employees didn't really do anything. None of the employees
Didn't
really
stick
cared.
up for her.
Yeah. And it went on she said it went on for 15, 20 minutes because it was the morning rush, so it was really busy. So she had to stay and wait in line that whole time, and they did nothing but berate her. And then one of the gentlemen proceeded to follow her out to her car, and she had a Bernie sticker on her car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And he saw that and he went off. He was like, "You socialists, you this, that, and the third. What are you doing here? You belong up in Canada, this, that, and the third." And she exercised her right, and she stayed silent, and she didn't say anything.
Really?
Yeah.
For 15, let's say anywhere between 5, 10, or 15 minutes, and these people are being assholes, and she didn't say anything.
I just don't because you tell that story, and in my mind, what I'm thinking, the guys that are talking to her, going to be him this way, then following her out to her car, I cannot help but my brain goes, this man has a tiny penis. Like, he literally is just, like, he's got to be rocking a centimeter, maybe 2. I'm going metric right now because this motherfucker wants to talk about Canada. Let's go metric.
Yeah.
You got maybe a 2-centimeter cock.
Good call.
And you're standing behind a fucking person who...
She's like 5'2". She's like 5'2", and these guys were like 6'3".
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I just...
It may be a he, it may be a she, it may be an old or a young or a black or a white. It's a person.
A human fucking being.
It's a person.
A human. Not an animal, not a subhuman, not someone who went into the coffee shop and, like, took their clothes off and said, "Look at me, I'm gonna be a man." Like, that's not...
Now, all of
I
us...
just want coffee.
All of
I
us
just want coffee. Just give me some coffee.
All of us have worked with kids, the 3 of us.
Yes.
Yep.
And when we see or hear about kids behaving like that, it like turns your stomach. You know, it's like, oh,
absolutely.
God. Because you see how evil that a person can be, but you say to yourself, okay, they're a kid, and there's no filter there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you try and
the potential's
understand,
there.
like, you're like, all right, you have a teaching moment. You say, all right, that's not how you handle things. That's not how you treat another person. And hopefully they grow out of that. Hopefully they learn from that it doesn't feel good to treat another person like that.
Exactly.
But now you have a situation where an adult or several adults are behaving that way. And not only is that abhorrent, it's frightening.
It's very frightening that our country, home of the free, land of the brave, give us
Is that wrong?
I reversed that. You know what? The point is, it's not.
Because you're a communist.
It's got to be because I'm a communist. I like Bernie. But the fact of the matter,
I bet you're a Gary Johnson guy.
I was,
Oh, God.
and he's just not going to do anything with his career at all. I mean, he had a lot of good ideas, but
Did he know what those ideas were?
Do I?
No, did Gary
Oh.
know what those ideas were?
Probably
He was too
not.
high.
I don't think he understood what was going on.
Well, I liked his stance was stay out of your bedroom and stay out of your wallet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like
Fair
that.
enough.
That turned me on, because I don't want anyone in my bedroom. I never make my bed. You know what I mean?
True.
For me, it's embarrassing, so the government shouldn't come in and tell me how I need to make my fucking bed. It's none of your goddamn business. Pisses me off. But let's bring it back to what we were talking about. Circling back. Thank you for sharing that story, first and foremost, because most days I'm a straight white man, so I don't have these stories. I don't have these moments that are like Dan had said, teachable moments where you're just like, wow, this is so fucking terrible. We need to learn from this so we don't continue to allow this to happen. I don't have. Dan, do you have any of these moments? No, you don't. Exactly. None.
Hold on, I'm still thinking.
Oh, okay, exactly. So you
I don't think it's there.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's there.
I'm a tall. I'll add that in. Tall white man.
Yes, you are.
So no one's even allowed to give me a dirty look, because if they do, I'll just call the cops. You know what I mean?
True.
I guess. So moving on. Dan, do you have any questions for your brother here?
Well, I mean, I guess we did cover. He basically said that, he doesn't really struggle too much with people giving him shit for being gay.
No, just I just see
It's
it a
not
lot.
on the surface.
I
Yeah,
just
but he
see it a
sees
lot.
it more often.
Plus, I've never gone out on a limb to show people that I'm gay.
Right. I did give you an armband, but I don't see you wearing it anymore.
Did you really give me an armband?
No.
I was going to say, because I would not wear that.
Once Trump became president, I thought we were going to do that for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
the gays would wear an armband.
Right.
The Jews.
Anybody making less than $50,000 a year would have to wear one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
But that was really my other question was, you've been living in poverty since you were born.
Yep.
Now, I don't want to sound disparaging to our parents. They were both hardworking, and they cut their coupons, and
Yeah.
they, you know what I'm saying, they balanced their checkbook, and they made sure that house had heat,
Yeah.
had water,
Yeah.
and
We always had Christmas gifts.
we always had Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I got to a point where I was noticing, like, okay, this was a tough year for them. I could tell.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got an orange for Christmas this year.
But
Mom,
make no
Dad.
mistake. Make no mistake. We were
Thank
a
you.
poor family. They just
yeah.
did a really good job of not making it seem that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we most of my clothes were hand-me-down clothes.
From
And
who?
probably
You were the
yours, too.
eldest.
And most of
I
mine
had
were
older cousins.
hand me down from you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't relate to any of that because I'm the eldest of
Yeah.
the cousins, the brother, everyone. I'm the eldest, so all my shit was brand new.
Right.
But I mean, it was from like Walmart. Of
course.
My
And your mom, she struggled, but she made it work.
Well,
She
yeah.
raised two boys.
I mean, so my mom raised us by herself. And yeah, Christmas times were tough, but there was always heat, there was always water, there was always food in the fridge, and we always got gifts on Christmas. And I think to your point, I didn't really realize it till the way you just put it, Dan, which was on Christmas you'd see how hard your parents had it based on the gifts you got.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy. Like, that just kind of brought me back to a couple of, like, the year I got, like, a stuffed bear. The year
Yeah.
before that, I got, like, a Nintendo 64
Right.
and
Yes.
Star Fox with a Rumble Pack.
Oh,
The
yeah.
year after that, I got a single teddy bear. So, like, Ma, you had a tough year on the books.
Yeah.
But anyway, please continue.
Yeah, so
Please.
basically, the parents, I mean, we weren't like poor, like standing in line at Wegmans using food stamps. Although I wouldn't
I
be
remember
shocked.
waiting in line to apply for food stamps with Mom.
Yeah, and I do remember going to court
Yep.
for bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
So money was always an issue. It's not like it isn't for most people, you know. But so we grew up in basically a poor household, but it was clean. It was heated. So for the most part, it was a great childhood. But now, so basically what I'm saying is, for most of our lives, we've been living under either a Republican or a Democrat, and the economy has gone up and down. Mm-hmm. I've got a 4-year degree and plenty of debt. You've gone to college.
I avoided that.
Yeah, you went to MCC for
I went
a
to
little bit, though.
MCC, and then I just stopped going.
Right.
There's
So
no jobs.
economically now, you're living with your boyfriend in your second place together, in a new home, but in a slightly different neighborhood than you were before.
The Hood.
Yeah.
Yes. It's called The Hood.
So we were kind of curious what your perspective is on the economy, what it's like to live on peanuts.
It's, it kind of ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's really frustrating because, God forbid something big happens in your life, like your car breaks down or whatever you need, and you're just sent scrambling. But then there are other times where it kind of does force you to be humble. It does kind of force you to just look for the necessities, I guess. It kind of it kind of trains you to just be like, all right, well, we don't need that. We don't need this. But like I said, it's the opposite end too. It's where like, oh, I'd really like that in my house, or I'd like to I'd like to run my hot water a little bit longer, but I can't.
Yeah. So I mean, just to jump in, is it really at that point, like no fucking around, like
Oh, absolutely.
You're actually
absolutely.
like counting the minutes for the hot water. Seconds.
Basically, yeah, we're saying no longer than 10-minute showers.
Wow.
We put timers on pretty much all of our electronics. I mean, we unplug our cable box at the end of the night because we're just trying to cut corners that much. Plus, we're saving for a house, which doesn't make it
good
any easier.
But it will be. It will be someday.
It will be someday. I've heard that since I was like 9.
Yep. I believe
so
you.
I'm waiting for that day. But
the secret is that's a lie. What
yeah,
I
it is
just
a
said
lie.
was a complete lie.
Yeah.
This house that we're in currently, was given to me. For now, I do have to buy it at a point. I am saving. We're scrounging every penny. I thought we move into this house, shit's gonna get easier. Shit gets, I don't want to say harder, but
Different.
it changes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The challenges change.
Something
There's always
breaks.
gonna be a challenge.
Exactly.
More
Something breaks
complex.
here. It's
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
I gotta fix it. So, I just this is. I mean, I guess you're putting stuff into perspective for me. But unplugging the cable box at the end of the night. Wow. I mean, getting to that point. Please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Plus, it has to do with our neighborhood as well, where we're living now. It's a slightly different clientele that it does cause a concern for us, because it's not that we think these people are after us specifically. We just know that we have more than them, and if we're in a if they're in a really bad situation, they're going to be more apt to
Take from you. Yeah.
And that's not necessarily... See, I've come from the standpoint of where I was in that situation years ago. I was taking things from people and stealing and doing really bad things, and that was because I needed it.
Okay.
I wasn't doing it for fun.
You weren't getting like a thrill, or you weren't getting like a rush
No.
out of it. It's just like, I'm fucking hungry.
I'm hungry. I need to take this to sell this for money so that I can continue to have a car.
So are you going to be starring in the live action Aladdin movie that's got to steal to eat? Tell you all about it.
Right. And I just, now I look at it from a standpoint of, oh, they're just all thieves, and oh, they're all this, that, and the third. And it's just like, no, they're struggling. They're struggling just like I was. And,
They act out of desperation.
It's desperation. And, thank God I went through that when I was 18, 19. I don't have kids to feed.
Yeah.
I don't have all this adult bullshit baggage that, goes along with that kind of lifestyle. So a lot of it is, we're downsizing, we're trying to be better about the budget, and we're trying to really open our minds to where we can permanently set up shop. Like our mother was very upset with my move to where I am now.
She's typical motherish and worries about every little thing.
Yes. She also thinks that parts of Greece are ghetto. But
They can be.
Depending on
they
the
can
area.
be, but not the type of ghetto that's going to mess with.
Crime happens
Mom.
everywhere.
It does.
Is it more likely to happen in certain areas than others? Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason
Some-
why black tar heroin has become an epidemic in the Midwest, because the criminals understand that in the inner cities and in the major cities, there are DEA, FBI agents undercover looking out. So they found a market in the smaller cities, in the suburbs, in the wealthier neighborhoods, where these cops are not going to be looking. It's easier to sell their stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
don't tell me that simply because you live on the nicer side of town that you're going to escape crime. It can happen anywhere at any time.
Absolutely.
But I think that's part of the arrogance, or no, not arrogance, the ignorance of a certain generation, thinking that it's still this side of the tracks and that side of the tracks.
Right.
that-
1960s
that
America.
It's the outsiders, and there's the bad boys from
Well,
that side.
and to further that
Uptown
point-
Girl, and it's like all these. Everybody is meshed so much. I mean, I can tell you from living in the city, not all of the city is decimated in poverty. And not everybody's walking around with their pants sagging and bandanas. I mean, it really is a mixed culture in the city.
Absolutely. You
Even
go-
at my school, there's a really good mixed culture. It is still predominantly black, but there's a lot more mixture than I thought there would be. And what's surprising is that even though all these people come from different racial backgrounds and come from different religious beliefs and all different ages too, they're all poor. We're all the same level of poor.
Yeah.
We're all suffering the same problems, give or take. And I think that's one of the reasons why, at least with where I work, there's such a sense of family, because we just know that we're
You
all
gotta take
struggling.
care of each other.
We gotta
Yeah.
take care of each other. That's what we're here for.
There's a beauty in that.
Yeah, there's a beauty in that, but there's also this collective
Disdain?
disdain for the establishment, for not
For the
only
system.
well, not only the city
I'll
of
put the
Rochester.
system on trial.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. It's funny, I hear from older white gentlemen that these people are taking advantage of this, that, and the third, and they're finding loopholes and this, that, and the third, and they are to a certain degree. They
Yeah.
are, but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
trying to feed their kid. What's wrong with that?
Or find a little bit of comfort in a very uncomfortable life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something to take them away for just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I have half of my kids live in shelters.
Wow.
So,
That they want to cut the funding on.
yeah.
And it just, so you're saying this stuff, and yesterday I had a very eye-opening conversation with someone I would consider a very close friend of mine.
Oh, God.
And I didn't realize these were the views of this person, that the folks in the situations that you're describing are there by themselves, because of themselves, for not trying hard enough in life. Now, I saw your face. Immediately you winced in pain when I said that. And me hearing that yesterday, I felt the same way you did. Now, yes, are there people that are in this situation due to fault of their own?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And those people shouldn't be rewarded nor given handouts. However, there are many that have nothing because they started with nothing.
Yeah.
They were left in a home somewhere. Their mom and dad are in prison. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to be. They don't know how to do A, B, C, or D. They act out. They may need help. Well, then the answers I'm getting from this. Well, then they should starve to death, and then we don't have to pay for them anymore.
Yeah.
And
Jesus Christ.
I know, but I guess the point I'm making is: are there people that game the system? Yes.
Sure.
Are there people that need the system? Yes.
Absolutely.
The point I'm making is this: you take a child, a poor, destitute child with drug-addled shit parents. Stay with me for a second, okay? The kids get their free lunches, they get a free education, they're fed, they get free daycare. Keep them away from their parents as much as possible.
Right.
Educate them. This child then moves on, goes to college. This child gets a full education. This child becomes, I don't know, a doctor, maybe a technician, maybe, you know what I mean?
Well, that's where people on the other side of the argument say, and that's on them, why isn't that happening?
But let me finish. The
Right.
point I'm making is that now we have helped this child to get an education, to be part of something bigger than them, and now you have one less person that needs to turn to crime, one less person that's going to break into your house, one less drug addict, one less person that thinks it's okay to beat their wife, one less person. We have done that because of these quote-unquote government handouts. Let's not look at it as a government handout. Let's look at it as an investment in the future of our country. Why can't we look at it like that? Instead, I've got a friend of mine who I think very highly of, who actually doesn't see that this is an investment in the future of our country.
Well, it all affects us. I mean, we end up paying for drug addicts. We end up paying for all those things. We end up paying for people who are dragging on our society. Whether your friend likes to admit it or not, he's being affected by all that.
Yeah.
True.
So maybe he needs to take a better look as to where his money's going locally, because I can tell you from just working at where I've been working for a year, Rochester's top 5 in the nation for poverty. The entire nation.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. How many cities are across this entire nation, and we're top 5? I think we're like 3rd or 4th.
Jeez.
That's not a stat you want to have.
No, absolutely not. I mean, who beat us? Albion beat us.
Oh, well, that's believable.
Yeah, but it was measured by poverty per capita.
There's so many factors.
There's so many factors.
I mean,
and to go back on what you said about, the kids, helping the kids out, we really got to help these families out too. I mean, we can't, you take a kid away from their parents and their success rate drops by 50%.
Okay.
That's just a fact of life. No kid likes to be taken away from their parent. Even kids that have been beaten up and neglected, and they're still young and they still love their parents.
Right.
And
there's
their
a
success
genetic
goes
code that tells them that they should be with their parent.
Yeah, it's biological. It's nothing. We can't program that out of kids.
Right.
No matter how much foster care we put them in.
Yeah.
No matter how many programs we put them in. You put them in Boy Scouts, put them in this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Give them a great, permanent family. That kid's always going to want their parents.
True.
And then think of it, these parents who are consumed with drugs or whatever else they're into.
Yeah.
The front of their brain is all about the crack right now and all about this, but
Love that crack.
they're always in the back. They're thinking about their kid. So they're not going to want to get better if they're constantly thinking about their kid that's halfway across the city that was taken away from them. What's the point of me getting better now if I don't have my kid?
Exactly.
What's the point?
Exactly. It's funny you say that because it reminded me of my situation with my divorce and my custody battle was not being able to see my newborn daughter. And what did I want to do was just drink.
Yeah.
Drink. And when I was done drinking, I wanted to drink some more. And that's when I had to finally come to a realization is if you continue this, you're really just never going to see her, period. No. Because you're fucking drunk. And I had to scale that back and then had to kind of realize I'm actually a better person than I think that I am. And I completely, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. But let's go ahead. We're going to take a break. I believe we have a sponsor.
Yeah, we do.
We have a sponsor. If you want to be a sponsor, let us know. Put it in the comments. Let us know if you would like us to talk about your business, your company, you.
We have an email, don't we?
We do have an email. I don't remember the email address, but when we get back, we'll get our email address.
But
or you could
let
just
me read this.
Comments below. Go ahead, Dan.
So this just came in this last week, but I didn't mention it till now.
Oh, boy.
It's we talk about just better ways to shave.
Yeah.
There's these, I don't want to say the name of the company, but 100 Cent Shave Club. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's another one out there. It's just cheap razors.
Yeah.
Well, this one's more focused for hipsters.
Okay.
This one's called Rusty's.
Rusty's.
Yeah.
Of course.
Rusty's Hipster Blades. And I'm just going to read the copy.
Please.
Ever wanted to get an authentic shave? Try Rusty's Blades. The 18th century was full of real men, not afraid of a little pull and sting. Yeah. The Rusty's Blades will carve your face. And their dullness will literally pull every hair out painfully. But you'll be a better man. Rusty's, because real men live in constant pain. Go to ohgodwhy.com. That's ohgodwhy.com for more info.
If that's not an indication, we need sponsors.
Yeah.
Please leave your comments below. When we get back, we're going to ask questions Republicans would ask to a gay man.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
It doesn't matter who you are.
If
you were once a cigarette smoker and you want an alternative, then you turn to vape.
Yes and no, but now you got these kids with the cloud contests there's actually contests about making clouds. Like I look at these fucking douchebags in these vape lounges,
yes,
and they're like asking me all these questions like, "Oh, what kind of rig you got?" Listen, first of all, it's not a fucking rig. It's a vape.
A rig.
Yeah, that's what they call them. They're your quote unquote rig to sound fucking cool.
Isn't that a boating term?
I don't know, man.
Like
I was thinking like big rig, like.
Or truck, yeah.
I don't really understand it. For me,
I feel more macho. That's what it is.
I think you're right. I think you're right. For me, I want to just not smoke cigarettes, but I want to smoke still. Because I love smoking. I do. I love to smoke.
I do too. I'm not ready to quit.
Oh, I've never been ready to quit.
I still love it.
Oh, isn't it great?
It's fantastic.
Oh, after a meal?
There's nothing. The driving.
Oh, after you take a huge shit.
I do it while I'm shitting.
Oh my god, that's what dreams are made of.
Yeah, that actually expedites the process.
Oh, it feels
real
so
quick.
Good. Oh my god, I did that one time at a buddy of mine's place who allows smoking in his house. So I was like, wait a second, and he had an ashtray next to the toilet, and I had my cigarettes in my pocket, which of course my pocket was down near my ankles because I was sitting on the toilet.
Right.
And I was like fumbling through there. I'm like, I've got to do this, and I grabbed a cigarette and I put it in and I lit it, and I just took that first drag while I grunted and splashed the water with some feces, and I was just like,
yeah, it's a great aid.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Or like, how about the first cigarette after like a couple of drinks or a nice shot?
Oh my god,
good shot of liquor.
Fun story.
Please.
Really close friend of mine, his mom might be dying of cancer from the brain and lungs from smoking. Ooh, Debbie Downer.
Yeah, I mean.
So I'm gonna still smoke. Because my best friend lost her mom to lung cancer, and she didn't smoke a cigarette in her life.
Yeah, I know. I say that too. It's like
we also all die anyways.
You never know. But
yeah.
Meanwhile, her daughter is literally taking care of her hand and foot, and she's begging people to stop now if you can.
And you know what? Smoking is not good for you. Neither is bacon.
Neither
Neither is coffee. Neither is heroin.
Now, whoa. Calm down on the coffee. I thought coffee was good for you.
I mean,
Caffeine
Thought it was good
isn't-
for your heart.
Caffeine, no.
caffeine is great for your heart. In fact, I've been
Well, not the
freaking
caffeine part, but
mainlining coffee.
the beans. I thought the beans were good.
The
Well, it's like
I don't know.
saying-
I read it on the internet.
That's
I
like
was
saying
probably
Trump is okay. I mean, not the racism part, but like the economic leadership part.
Yeah, because he's doing a
You
fucking
can't
great job
separate the
with
two.
that.
They come together. They're a package deal.
They come together. So, little tangent there. So we're gonna move on to our segment in honor of Jason joining us. And I know we said we called it what Republicans would ask a gay dude.
Yeah.
And we're gonna rename it right now because that's what we do. We change things on the fly.
Yeah.
And it's what Mike
We're a
Pence.
very professional show.
So professional. What Mike Pence would ask a gay dude. So I'm going to go ahead and ask these questions. Jason, please answer them honestly. Please feel free to...
If you don't like it, we'll just edit everything out.
We can do that.
Okay.
But be sure to defend yourself.
Okay.
Please.
Will do.
So first question I feel Mike Pence would ask... at what point did you choose to be gay, and why did you choose to be gay?
I think I chose to be gay around it's this time in adolescence life. It's called puberty.
Okay, and that's when you chose to,
Um,
because it's a choice.
right. It's not.
It's not.
It's
I'm,
not.
I'm sorry.
Big
As,
news,
as
folks.
Mike,
This just in. We're getting news here.
Now, Mike. Now, Mr. Pence. Did you choose to be straight?
well, God made me, and God made all of us straight.
Okay. Well, now you're bringing in something imaginary to facts. So I'm gonna need.
The Bible's a
facts.
fact. The Bible's a fact.
The Bible is a physical book. It's filled with fairy tales, but it's a physical book. Yes, so that is a fact. But science is actually proven more and more again that it's biological.
Well, with your almighty science, explain to me, scientist, about being gay. What is that? What does science tell us about gayism?
Gay. That is. Wow.
That's oof. What does science tell us about gayism? Well, that it's the same as straight people, or as I like to call them, breeders.
Breeders.
Um,
Well, hold on. Let me just interject here. The real question you're asking.
Yes.
Uh,
As Mike
Mr.
Pence, not as the Rock Ness
Mr.
Monster.
Pence, yes. It's predicated on the idea that we are all born straight, right? But really,
Of
what
course,
you're,
God
what
made
you're
us that
saying
way.
is there any scientific data to prove what Jason is saying?
Yeah.
And there are scientists that are close to discover, because you can't identify a gay gene. Okay, you can't, not yet at least. There are other genes that indicate hair color, eye color, size, this and that, right? But we can't quite identify the gay gene. Doesn't mean that we won't in the future. So for the sake of argument, let's just say that we can't prove scientifically that someone is born gay. Okay?
So
For the sake
if-
of argument.
For the sake of argument, if you cannot scientifically prove
Right.
that being gay is biological,
Right.
then it must be a choice. Again, I'm
Again,
not.
that's fine. So let's say that it is a choice, okay? Now, why on earth would someone choose to be marginalized, hated,
outcast.
outcast, disenfranchised, made fun of at an age when all you have to do is not have the right pair of shoes on to be made fun of?
Amen. Yeah.
Great point. Great point.
That's all you have to do. You show up with a stain on your shirt and you're the laughing stock of middle school. Why would anyone purposely come out and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to choose to be a victim. Why?
it doesn't make any sense. If I can snap back into an actual human being, because Mike Pence is not a real human being,
Right.
and go back to being the Rock Ness monster, when you see Jason on the news, CNN, whatever it is that you watch, MSNBC, I'm assuming because you have a functioning brain, you don't use Fox News.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So you hear these things about people saying being gay is a choice. You made the choice. What does that bring up? What does that inspire or not inspire in you?
I used to get really, really infuriated when I would hear that.
Fair.
This was a couple years before Barry O passed the gay marriage in the country, and
Miss that Barry O. I miss him already.
Oh man, Barack, come back.
Well, did he? No, because the Supreme Court passed it, but
he did a lot to push for it.
he spoke out for it.
He spoke
was
out
the first
for it.
president to actually come out and say it should be legal.
Yes.
But I don't. Who actually introduced the bill into Congress, which eventually went to the Supreme Court? Right? Is that what happened?
Yes, it had to go to the Supreme Court. It had to go to the Supreme Court twice because it was shot down
Right.
in 2007 or
But
8.
usually, for something to end up in the Supreme Court, it's because someone
Was pushing for it.
was sued or is suing the civil system. I don't know how that works, but it had to start in the court itself. It has to go through the Supreme. It has to go through the appellate process and then get pushed up through into the Supreme Court.
All I know is that there were certain couples across the country where states were allowing gay marriage in their state.
Right.
And these couples were not getting certain benefits because the federal government wasn't recognizing it.
Aha.
So I think what happened was it was just groups of gay couples going to Washington and saying, if we're going to be married, then we need to be married 100%. Not
Absolutely.
not at a state level. But yeah, I used to get really infuriated with that, and now it's just... Now I laugh because these people have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Absolutely.
This straight person on the television telling me this, they didn't choose to be straight. They just are.
Yeah.
And we can prove that with science to a certain degree, but when this person wants to bring up religion, which is not science-based, there's no evidence whatsoever, then I don't listen to you anymore, because it's not an equal argument. You're throwing fairy tales at me when I'm throwing science back at you.
Exactly. It's the equivalent of me trying to use Star Wars to explain something important that's going on in our
Yeah.
world. I mean, it's
Yeah.
literally the exact same thing. And
Right.
I actually believe more in Star Wars as having actually happened than the Bible itself.
I
Yeah.
feel like Star Wars is much more of a possibility than anything that happened in the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Except for the stoning of women, I know that happened.
What if we
Yeah.
explained homosexuality, the choice versus being born it, through the metaphor of your choice in football teams? Let's, for example, say that
That's
God-
not my realm.
God came down and said, the Buffalo
Sorry,
Bills...
this is for the straights. Give us a moment. The breeders.
yeah, the Buffalo Bills will never be able to conceive a Super Bowl. Okay, I use that word carefully. So they'll never be able to win a Super Bowl. Okay, God came down and said that. Just can't happen. Just like a gay couple cannot physically create a baby out of thin air, right? So if that's possible, if God came down and said that, right? Western New York would be faced with a choice. Okay, well, we can't win a Super Bowl, but we could still go. We could still have great seasons. We can still be entertained by the whole notion of playing football, even though we know in the end we're not going to win the Super Bowl, but we could go to the store and maybe buy one. We could buy a trophy. Just like gay couples can adopt if they want kids, even though they can't conceive a child.
And should be able to adopt, which
Right.
is a whole topic
Right.
of these fucking kids don't have any parents.
Right.
Fuck you.
So
If you
now-
have an opinion, you adopt the goddamn child yourself then.
So now these Western New Yorkers have a choice.
Yes.
They do have literally a choice. Do we stay Buffalo Bills fans or do we find another team? I think a lot of people would still choose being a Bills fan because of how it makes them feel. You know what I mean? So let's pretend that it is a choice. If you want to be gay because that's who you're attracted to as a person,
Well, it's what I mean.
then that's fine, isn't it?
You break it down to the most base, and then this is again, Jason. Correct me. That's why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
I can say, and I think more people need to talk like this. I'm ignorant, not willfully ignorant. I'm ignorant because I'm not gay.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here and tell you what I'm saying is right.
Right.
Because I'm not gay.
Well, you're not a member of the church.
Well,
members of the church can tell people what's right and wrong.
Oh well, of course you have to be part of a clergy to be able to do that. But I'm not that person. So I guess the basest of terms is what.
Oh, you said
actual
basis.
Base. The base.
Oh.
Is what gives you a boner. No, I'm not asking you.
And physically.
I'm not asking you. I'm just saying, in my mind is I look at a chick with nice tits and a nice ass. My dick gets hard. A dude looks at another dude, and he gets hard.
Yeah.
That's just to me, that's the basis. That's the base.
Right.
Now, this is going to throw a wrench in that for
Go
a
ahead.
little bit, because then there comes the people who say that they're bisexual.
Yeah.
But
sexuality is fluid. That I'm attracted to
there's
this.
There's a lot of
and that.
fluids when you're having sex.
And then, there's that whole new age of you're this, that, and the third. You're
polyamorous.
I don't know.
Polyamorous.
Polysexual. I don't know. Pansexual. When I was younger and going through puberty, anything sexual gave me a boner.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, man,
anything.
Teddy bear.
The scene in Zoolander where they're having a threesome and they don't show below the shoulders.
I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, that got to me.
Yeah.
With what was that? Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, and
what's her face? Long blonde
Ben
hair.
Stiller's wife in real life.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had that threesome, and then the midgets were involved.
From Hey Dude, by the way.
They're doing like the 360 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
They're
Surrounded by like a red carpet.
Yeah.
just taking turns.
Yeah.
On
And
every
it's like
hole.
this
It's
horrible,
euphoric. It's
awkward
euphoric.
kissing. Yeah. So that
Anyway.
was
And you're new to sexuality at that age. You're kind of like,
brand
whoa.
new. These are all new chemicals that
That's
are coming out
cool.
of your brain
Yeah.
and everything. So literally, I had no idea what was going on.
Right.
I had no clue. But to go back to it, I don't know if you remember this, Danny,
said
or
but.
not. I drew a picture when I was really young we had to do it in school. We had to draw a picture of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I drew a picture of myself as a muscle man.
That's one of his things that he wanted to be when he grew up.
I wanted to be a muscle man when I grew up.
Why?
Just you ask a kid what they want to be when they grow up, and they say random stuff.
Well, yeah. I wanted to be a superhero. Literally.
Yeah.
Stupid.
But I want to be in
think you
fitness.
still
I
do.
hate fitness. I drew myself as a giant muscle man,
Mm-hmm.
and then I drew a little bone where my penis should be. And my mom, well, the teacher obviously called my mom, and my mom came in and had to look at it, and my mom was like, why did you draw a bone down there? You don't have bones down there. I was like, well, when I watch Muscle Men on the TV, that's what happens. I get a bone.
Oh.
Bones happen.
And there it is.
I was like 5.
You
Yeah.
were 5, and obviously you
5.
made that choice to like that at
Right.
5.
Right.
This is Mike Pence speaking right now. At 5 years old, you had the wherewithal. I mean, you just learned how to be potty trained.
Yep.
You're getting tall enough to just about reach some of the countertops, and you chose to be gay.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense. Logical, perfect sense.
He chose to live in sin, and he knows what Jesus went through on the cross.
At
and he
5?
still acts like that.
Absolutely.
At 5,
At
yes.
5 years old, you're going to know everything about Jesus, and you're going to know about burning in hell, because being gay, it's a one-way ticket to hell for eternity.
Some people might say that we didn't really have much religion as kids.
Some people, yeah, it's because we didn't. For sure.
mean, Dad was.
You're so lucky.
Our father was sometimes upset by that, but I remember Mom just telling us willy-nilly Bible stories.
Well, they just disagreed because he was a Catholic,
Right.
and she was Protestant / Lutheran / whatever, and never on a regular basis were we ever dragged to church. There was a church down the street from us, and we were never taken there, except occasionally for whether
like
it was
Easter, maybe.
yeah,
once
Easters or maybe a Christmas Mass, if that. So it's not as if they tried to keep us out of the church, but they weren't necessarily dragging us there either. Right. So it's weird because of their disagreement, which seemed petty. I'm actually sort of grateful for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, see, and it's funny because I'm on the other side of the coin. My family's devout Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Because I'm first generation. I am the first person in my bloodline to be born on American soil, myself.
Mm-hmm.
My younger
Your mom
brother
wasn't?
No, my mom was. I'm saying on like my last name. With my last name, I'm the first person with my last name to be born on U.S. soil. I don't have my mom's last name. I have my father's last name.
Right. Okay.
So that.
But you're right. But there's two of you. So your mom was born on American soil, but your dad wasn't.
Correct. So that made us devout Roman Catholics. And I mean, is some heavy shit. Church every Sunday, Sunday school, baptism, first reconciliation, first communion, all this shit. What got me was I loved dinosaurs growing up. Fucking love dinosaurs.
Right. Yeah.
So
You
I go
look
to
like one too.
Thank you. So I go to Sunday school, and they're teaching us about the Book of Genesis. They're teaching us about. This is probably I was maybe 8, 9 years old, and this is probably the 5th or 6th time I've been through the Bible. I know the Bible very well.
Okay.
And we're in the Book of Genesis, and we're discussing how God created the animals and God created man. And the 7th day He rested. He carved out the seas. All the happy horse shit.
Yeah.
You can't see me, but I'm making the
He's
jerk
doing
off
a
motion.
masturbation.
Mm-hmm.
So I raised my little hand.
Hairy little hand.
I just was like this, raising my hand. And the Sunday school teacher was a man. He called on me, and he said, "Yes, of course. What is your question?" I said, "Well, where were the dinosaurs? Like, if God just created the earth, like just created it like 2 days ago, and then carved out the oceans and created the lands, and put the animals here, and then put Adam and Eve here. What point in the story did He create the dinosaurs? And did He wipe out the dinosaurs?" And I just started firing off these fucking questions.
Right.
And he started telling me that I needed to be quiet. He started telling me that I had to stop asking questions, and my hand kept going up.
Shush,
and
Billy.
my
Here's a
hand,
candy. Go in the corner.
but what about this?
Don't
But what
ask
about
questions.
that?
No.
But what about the cavemen? Were Adam and Eve cavemen?
Yeah.
Were they cave people?
Right.
These were questions I was asking
Right.
at like 8, 9 years old, and he kept telling me I needed to be quiet. And I finally just started, the gears slowly started to turn in my head, even at that age, where I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I found my savior at way too young of an age. I should have never been allowed to watch this.
Spider-Man.
No. George Carlin.
Ooh.
My father, who's non-religious,
Yeah.
now, has been for a long time, but he was also brought up Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
He let me watch George Carlin at a very, very, very young
An
age.
impressionable age.
Very impressionable age. And you take what happened in Sunday school, and you fast forward a couple years later, and I'm still kind of mulling around in my head.
Right, yeah.
Do I believe in this stuff? And then I see what I believe is who is a visionary, more than a comedian, more than a man. He is the anti-Gandhi. as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that he did bad things. It's just that he was
Waking people up.
Yes, in a very abrupt way.
Yeah.
Well, he's not the anti-Gandhi. He's the
Opposite.
more modern Gandhi, is what you mean.
No, like for instance, I'll put it this way: do you follow the Batman series at all?
You mean the animated series? What do you mean?
Anything involving Batman
Sure.
and Catwoman?
Sure.
Yeah.
Catwoman is considered an anti-hero. She isn't exactly good. She isn't exactly bad, but she's there. She's helpful.
She's helpful, but she also messes shit up too.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm familiar with the term anti-hero. I just
So
think
I'm
that-
like, if you take Gandhi being like the purest of hero in
Right.
terms of what he did for South Africa and India.
Right. I see.
Maybe he's like the Deadpool version of Gandhi. where
Yeah,
he's-
okay.
Deadpool's another anti-hero, sure.
Yeah, but he's doing it for good reasons.
Like
Yes.
some reasons might be selfish.
Plus, he's kind of
but some
fucked up,
reasons might
which
be
George Carlin was.
altruistic.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think Deadpool's more along the line.
I like where your head's at with that. He's like the Deadpool.
I understand now. You just sort of clarified what you meant by anti-Gandhi in the sort of anti-hero vein. of
Correct.
that. Right,
Correct.
okay.
But
Because anti-Gandhi would be,
Donald
Trump.
Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
but continue.
Thank you. So I watched George Carlin. I listened to George Carlin, listened to his words, and his words just reinforced and pushed what I was already mulling around in my head.
Right.
I am a huge George Carlin fan. He'd hate me for saying this, God rest his soul. But, I mean, that's when religion died for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you've got the obligatory unanswered prayers when your family is being ripped to shreds through its own asshole.
Right.
And all you pray for, you're not praying for a new video game system. You're not praying for new toys. You're not praying for the Bills to finally win the Super Bowl because it was the 90s.
You're not praying for a snow day.
You're not praying for a snow day. You're praying for mom and dad to shut the fuck up and figure it out and stay together.
Yeah, you're just praying for comfort. You're not praying for material things.
Exactly.
That's what they tell you. You're not supposed to pray for material things.
Exactly. And to be as young as I was, 8 to 10 in that range, and for my prayers to be, I want mom and dad to have a night where they're not screaming at each other and I don't have to fucking listen to it. And this is what brought Star Wars in for me, is that I would, like, when they would start screaming and just smash, they never threw stuff at each other, but my dad would pound the table hard, or my mom would slam a plate, just in anger, and you can hear it, and they fucking, oh man, they grew to hate each other. But I would put in, like, The Empire Strikes Back, and I would just put that in, and I would crank the volume as loud as I could, and just get lost in it. Just, okay, Han Solo's coming, he's gonna land the Millennium Falcon in the backyard, and I'm gonna leave with them. And for me, growing up, that was more feasible than even praying to God, because I would sit there and pray and pray and pray, and they would sit there and scream and scream and scream, and nothing ever got fixed.
Right.
So, again, the death of religion, from being super religious and being pushed as a Roman Catholic to nothing at all. And that's where I am now.
It's funny, what killed religion for me was actually being gay.
Ooh, please flesh that out.
I left 5th grade and went to middle school, and I had the privilege of going to a middle school that was, in comparison to other middle schools, progressive.
Okay.
It was weird.
It was weird. It was smaller. It wasn't going to be a typical middle school experience. And I still struggled really, really bad during 6th grade. That was a really awful time for me. Everybody at that age is trying to find themselves. So everybody's running around, everybody's oily and smells like BO, and everybody's just trying to
Like
figure
one
themselves
arm is
out.
like longer than the other.
One's
Your body
longer than
just
the other.
isn't right,
Somebody
you
has
know?
like a long hair on their chin, but nowhere else.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
It's just gross.
Terrible time.
Terrible time. Gym class was awful.
Oh yeah.
And I was treated like scum. I was treated like absolute garbage. I mean, I would walk down the hall and people would flood to the other side. I mean, they literally acted like I had a physical disease that would jump from me to them.
But what was it? Like, what? I don't understand. Did you identify at that point as being gay?
No.
Or what?
No.
Like, what would cause them to have
I
that reaction?
was silly and eccentric. I came from a school where I was kind of a big fish in a little pond. I had a lot of friends. I was kind of the ringleader. I was funny and outgoing, and I tried really hard to make people to like me. And going to a totally new area and with totally new kids, it was a wake-up call. And these kids did not take to my persona. They didn't take to me.
They didn't like you.
They didn't like me
Okay.
at all. And then, kids are awful, so they would just write things and pass notes before cell phones.
Yeah.
Pass notes and
Wow, I remember those days.
write things on lockers and things like that. And it threw me into a really awful depression for 2 or 3 years, where
I can imagine.
I attempted suicide a couple times.
Jesus.
It was awful, and I just remember sitting there multiple times in my room thinking, why would God create me to live a life like this?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? And all the adults in my life keep telling me that it's going to get better, or that kids are just mean,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all fine and dandy, but they're not the one getting up at 7:30 in the morning
And dealing with
and
it.
dealing
over
with
and
it
over
Monday
over
through
again.
Friday. And back then, it wasn't just Monday through Friday like it is now. Back then was buddy profiles and AIM Messenger.
Oh
and
my God.
I mean, people would put up away messages, if we remember away messages.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
They would put up away messages about me.
Yeah. The very, very early days.
Early days. I mean, they're buddy
online
profiles.
bullying.
People would have a buddy profile link about me
Jesus.
in their buddy profiles.
These are people that had literally nothing else to do.
No, I think a lot of it, what it was, is like we were all trying to figure out our status. I think everybody was trying to figure out where they fit, who they can get away with, who they can't stand up to, who they can. I think that's what it was. Plus, at this school I was going to, we were stuck with each other until
Smaller.
senior year.
Yeah, smaller class sizes all throughout.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was, some adults were like, just wait till 8th grade, you'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I got until senior year. I'm going to be with these people for the next 6 years. I can't do this. And I think a lot of that depression and how people acted towards me, who reached out, really killed religion for me, because all the adults were like, well, not all of them, but a lot of them were saying, well, you got to find a hobby, or you got to take solace in God, pray, ask. Don't ask. Just tell God that you're ready for better days. Like, well, I've been ready for better days for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And nothing's happened. And then, the divorce happened, and then that got even worse, and it was just, I sound like such a cliche, like, female actress in some teenage movie, but, like, there's a lot of shit that happened in my life that just, I hated religion.
Yeah.
Religion just died for me. It didn't do anything for me. And then I had a couple years of...
Didn't offer you.
Didn't
what you were
offer me
looking
anything.
for.
And then there was a couple years where I was straight atheist. I did not believe in anything. I thought we're all just germs on this rock, and we're all going to die, and there's nothing important, and...
Nihilism.
Yeah. We're a disease on this planet kind of thing.
Wow.
And then things started getting better as you got older. Fucking parents were right.
Yeah.
It did get better eventually. But the gayness didn't go away. Just how people acted.
Just couldn't shake that gayness.
Just couldn't shake that
God
gayness.
damn it.
And you showered regularly and
Yeah.
still didn't come off.
Nothing didn't come off. I cut my nails the way I was supposed to. I used regular soap.
Right. Right.
So none of the advertisements were telling the truth.
Meanwhile, folks, he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man who's white.
That's what Hitler had in mind.
Yes, what Hitler had in mind, except he's got that gay gene.
Right.
Couldn't get rid of it.
Nope.
That's some. Well, we started this out as what Mike Pence would ask a gay dude, and I think we went off on some pretty awesome tangents.
Fuck Mike Pence.
Honestly, I think just fuck Mike Pence. I mean, honestly, the dude is a huge piece of shit. I mean, honestly, just
Well, I think it
scum.
ties into the fact that he's such a strong evangelical. I think that's where all of this hatred comes from.
Yeah.
Is his strong religious beliefs. And I just feel like, why are we still electing officials that bring their religion into the campain?
Absolutely. You ever see his talk about evolution in front of the Senate?
I don't
YouTube
care.
Oh boy.
I don't care about what you think is in the sky.
Evolution isn't real. I
I
believe
want
one
you to
book.
fix the water in Flint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fix the
Because
fucking
that's
water.
real.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't care about evolution because that's in the past. No, I mean, I'm an educator, so I do care about what our kids are being taught. But as of right now, people are dying in Flint.
Kids are gonna get sick.
Kids are going to get sick. The environment is dying. People are losing their health insurance. Horrible things are happening.
30% cut to the EPA.
Like-
you can dump coal waste in streams. And
I don't
rivers.
care what your magical book has to say.
Exactly.
I
Fuck your magical book.
Fuck your magical book. I'm not in there. I don't see my name in there.
But to their point, though, that magical pretend book is a moral guide to how to live their life.
So you
Which
should
is-
stone your wife when she works.
You know, it's okay to have
just-
slaves. You know, the Noah's Ark, which is just like, what?
You can kill your kid if an imaginary voice tells you to.
Exactly. And it's inspired these people to
But
do these heinous
Islam
things.
is the religion of hate.
Well, of course. I mean, they're all religions of hate. And you
Religion
know, people,
is hate.
Religion is hate. If you have a religion, it is hate. And I
Well,
love those that are like,
well.
oh, well, you should pray. Anyone that tells you, you know, blah, 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 you need to pray more. No, fuck you. You need to get off your ass and you need to fucking do something, okay?
Oh, it's like those Facebook posts that somebody gets cured and somebody says, well, we got to thank Jesus. We got to thank God. No, you got to thank the doctor.
Thank you.
You need to thank where you went and the medicine he gave you. And thank
Exactly.
your insurance company for letting you do that.
And thank the college for
And
teaching
thank
the
the
doctor.
college, exactly. Like,
But
God
I think
didn't do- I'm
we
sorry.
had this discussion before that it's not about, for some people, it's about understanding that if they want to thank Jesus or God, that maybe Jesus and or God is the idea that that college existed, that that doctor studied hard, that those nurses helped out.
that God put him on that path.
And you know,
Well,
and you know
not
to
what?
do
no,
that.
just the idea that all the good nature in human beings to help one another is God.
But if that's a thought you want to have in your head,
That's not awful.
that's fine.
Right.
That's not awful at all. If that's a thought you want to have inside,
Right.
have the thought, let it go. That's it. Have your own.
and push policies based on it.
Exactly.
Right.
I've always said this. Okay, faith is beautiful. Religion is dangerous.
Yes.
There is a very distinct difference. My grandmother, who's currently living in a home, she has faith. She prays daily. She keeps it to herself. She does what she has to do because it makes her feel closer to my grandfather who's passed away.
That helps
That is
her.
faith. That is beautiful. Mike Pence pushes religion for an agenda. Or he just is, I don't know. I think he's secretly gay and he hates himself for it.
I came to that theory too. I was watching him on the Weekend Update. Not the Weekend Update, that's SNL. The one with George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I
And
know what you're talking
Yeah.
he had lip gloss on. Mike Pence had lip gloss on. I noticed.
I mean, everybody that goes
I
on
Snapchatted
TV gets makeup done.
And did you
Yeah,
notice
but
his face? Yeah.
shiny pink lip gloss.
I'm gonna see if
Right.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. But you ever
don't
notice
know.
his face is always looks like he's trying to squeeze a fart around a turd?
Yeah.
Like, all the
Yeah.
time, his face is like,
He's just
I know
slightly like peridogging.
I know it's poop, but I've got to get this fart around it. I know it's poop, but I got to get this fart around it. Hang on.
Yeah.
I shit myself. All right, I
Yeah.
hate gays. I'm going to go
Yeah.
take a poop and clean my pants now.
To
But,
me, Mike Pence just always looks like he's trying to figure something out.
This,
He's just like
He's squinting a lot, and he's kind of thinking,
But, I mean, we'll conclude, because we do have another sponsor.
Oh, good. Wow, money's rolling in.
Yeah, we've got another sponsor here.
Yes, Rockness, we actually do have a sponsor.
And our sponsor?
It's called Pence Paste.
Pence Paste, please explain.
It's a toothpaste
Yeah.
made by evangelicals and Mike Pence.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what it is it's semen consistency and flavored toothpaste
Okay.
for gay men to use.
Okay.
Because that's what they love.
Of course.
But what it does is it actually slowly gets them to hate it. So, yeah, this is like therapy for them to become straight.
And then this
genius.
is
Yeah.
it continue. You have to supplement that though with the praying to
Yeah.
pray the gay away.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like a program, something you sign up for.
Well, no, it's just a product you can buy online at gofuckyourselfmikepence.com. And it's just really weird why they would sponsor us. 'Cause,
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what came in the copy. So give it a shot, and maybe it'll help.
All right. We'll be right back.
All right, folks. Thanks for sticking in there. I know that last sponsor was a little controversial. Anyways, so now we're on to our FU section.
Fuck you. Say it.
No, I don't want to.
Say it now.
Fuck you.
Yeah. You better say it.
We're on to our fuck you section. This is just where we call people or things out that are frustrating us. I'll start. I've had the opportunity to go to Dave & Buster's a few times in my life, and I've had the recent opportunity of going to Lasertron, which is I don't know if it's a national or
I don't know.
thing, but it's certainly here. It's basically the same idea. It's a Chuck E. Cheese for adults. Okay, Dave & Buster's / Lasertron. There's laser tag involved. There's arcades. There's drinking. There's food. There's all kinds of things that you used to do as a kid. Not the drinking part.
I did.
But geared for adults. And these are pretty new to our area, so I could understand being a little loose on the policy of letting kids in, because they want people in the door. You know, the more kids are there, the more money the parents are spending, etc. I don't know what the policy is at Dave & Buster's as far as when kids are supposed to be there and when they're sort of kicked out. But when I was there about a year ago, it was packed with kids. I mean, there were babies. I'm not even kidding. Babies there.
Strange.
It was kind of the opening within the first few months. So, all right, fine. You got to bring people in. Whatever. But last night, I was at Lasertron. It was after 9 o'clock, and their policy clearly states that after 9 o'clock, kids are not allowed into the place, and they are to leave. There's alcohol being served. Adults are getting a little rowdy. They're playing video games, shoot 'em up games, laser this, whatever. Kids shouldn't be there. Okay? Get your goddamn kids out of there. And if they want an atmosphere where they can play video games and arcade and eat pizza, it exists at Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese sucks now, though.
We are not allowed to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we are.
No, not unless you have a kid.
Well, you have to. Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
I am. I have a kid.
Right, but I can't just walk in there and be like, hey, can I have a beer and a pizza and maybe play some old school arcade games? No, I can't. So
It's a shame.
why is a kid allowed to come to my place now for adults?
Kids ruin everything.
Yes, they do.
It's like, I'm not mad at the 9-year-old. You know what I mean? He wants to have a good time. I'm mad at the parents who say, yeah, I'm going to ruin this for the other adults.
Well, and then the business, too, for not.
Yes.
Did
the
you know his
management-
parents drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
The management for not stepping up
Jesus.
and saying, folks, thanks for coming, but as you know, our policy clearly states that after
Right.
9 p.m., children under the age of 18 are not allowed in here. And it really
Okay.
should be 21
It
because
should
it's
be
basically
21.
a bar.
Why is it 18?
I don't know. It should be 21 and under.
It should be. Absolutely.
18-year-olds are awful.
Ugh.
So if you're 20 years old and you can't drink legally, you're in a bar that has arcade games. I'm sorry. Get out.
It's
So
a bar.
So fuck you to Lasertron and Dave and Buster's for not manning up and telling these people to leave. Thank you.
Fucking that was beautiful, Dan. That was beautiful. Thank you. My fuck you is anyone on the road in their vehicle that makes a left turn. Ever.
Please, from now on, everybody go straight or just take a series of right turns.
That's what you need to do. You're holding up traffic. There's oncoming traffic. You need to make a left. You're selfish. You're ignorant. Fuck you. Honestly.
What is wrong with you?
All I want to do is literally put my front bumper against your back bumper and just slowly push you into the oncoming traffic and just watch your car get fucking smashed. I don't give a shit. Listen to me. I've got places to go, okay?
Right.
I have...
How dare them?
I'm trying to get to the mall to buy things that I don't need, okay?
Correct.
And I take series of right turns in order to get there.
Yeah.
Okay? For your safety and your benefit. You're trying to pull into your street and or your driveway or whatever it is you're trying to do. You're selfish.
Yeah.
You're fucking selfish in your left turns. You're goddamn God damn it. Your goddamn left turns. Fuck you and your left turning. I hate you. I hate you so much. Move. Now, if there's a left turn lane,
Fine.
I'll deal, especially if you get the Green Arrow. You know what I mean? I don't mean
Right.
the DC comic superhero Green Arrow.
No one thought that.
Who's pretty much just Hawkeye.
Shut up.
From Marvel.
No one cares.
But thanks, guys. Appreciate it. But I hate you. I hate your left turns, and I also hate people that if they're gonna turn right, they quickly kind of jerk to the left and then turn right, or if they're gonna make a left, they quickly jerk to the right and then turn left. What is the purpose of that?
What if?
like the Cadillac turn.
Yes.
The Cadillac turn. Yeah.
Big and wide.
And even though they got like a Corolla.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
What
you
are
don't
you doing?
need to do that.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. And that's my fuck you. Now, Jason, you're our guest today, and I'm gonna thank you now for being here with us. I think we had an excellent show. Discussed a lot of powerful things. But right now, I want to open it up to you for our fuck you section. So please, fuck you, Jason.
I'm gonna say fuck you to all the corner stores in the city.
Please continue.
I can't
Every single one.
whether they're on a corner or in the middle of a block, it seems to me everybody likes to park outside of it with their blinkers on and just go shopping for an hour. I don't know if people know this, but those signs are in English. You can read those. The blinkers do not mean you can park there. Usually blinkers just mean there's some sort of emergency.
Yeah.
And
Typically.
I know getting Coca-Cola is not an emergency.
Or your blunt wraps.
Or your blunt wraps. No, hey.
Get my blunt
Hey.
wraps.
I've run into some places for blunt wraps, but I have parked my car legally
Right.
to do so.
Right.
Even if it's 11 degrees outside.
I'm gonna get that.
He's doing it legally, and he's gay. Do you hear that, Mike Pence?
Yeah.
He's parking legally, and he's gay.
Right.
Wow.
I can't I one of these times I'm just going to fucking run right into one of these cars.
Well, I guess what's weird to me is that they're placed all over the city.
Everywhere.
And actually, where you live, there's even a higher density. There was like a neighborhood meeting where they want to get rid of so many of them because there's so many.
Yeah.
But my question, if they're everywhere you go, why can't you just walk there? They got to be within walking distance. from
Well,
where
they
you
are
live.
in walking distance. I mean, there's literally one on the end of my street. I live 5 houses down from a corner store.
Right.
And I get that it's winter and some people don't want to walk, especially in these side streets because they're not really plowed. It's not really easy to walk.
It's true.
But if you're going in there for one item, which most of them are, okay, a lot of these people don't go in there to grocery shop. They're going in there to get a liter of pop, a blunt wrap, a bag of Coke, something. So you don't need to drive your goddamn car down there. And what surprises me is that all these people in the city who are complaining about having no transportation all of a sudden have a car to get to the corner store, but they don't have a car
to go to the job,
to go to their job,
to go to the interview.
To do anything productive other than buying zigzags.
Zigzags and a bag of weed.
So yeah, fuck you to corner stores. Corner stores, delis.
Wow.
You're on notice. You're on notice.
We're watching you.
Lasertron, on notice.
Man.
Left turns, on notice. City corner stores, on notice. Today is the day of reckoning for all of you.
Well, I think that pretty much covers all the bases, don't you think, Killer?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think this was. I mean, this is
Fantastic
our third show, but
progress.
I'd say this is the best. This is the best show. I
Right.
feel great about this.
And it wasn't a dream.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Completely real.
I blacked out for the last hour and 24 minutes. What were we talking
All
about?
right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. I want to thank my brother Jason for being here.
Yes, thank you for being like super open with us and allowing us to kind of, I don't want to say poke fun, but bring awareness and be funny, be sarcastic about what is a serious issue.
Right. Also want to thank our sponsors. That's Pence Paste
Semen.
at gofuckyoupence.com or something like that. I don't remember the
.org.
And then Rusty's Blades at ogodwhy.com.
Yep.
And next week, I think we're going to have to apologize. I think we might actually have Mike Pence here, so stay tuned.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He's our next guest, Mike Pence.
And until next time,
Jesus.
everybody, pray for us.
Pray for me.
And please, everyone, don't kill each other. Thanks a lot. This is Critical Mass.
Bye.
Bye-bye.